Hey guys, welcome back. It is the 20th of June. It's a hot summer day in Central Texas, and there are no pictures on the scorecard. So guys, I'm going to play from the black today. It's 6,820 yards from the black out here at Rebecca Creek. I feel like I have my game. I've been hitting the ball well, hitting the range a little bit, so I feel like I can play from back there. 6,800 yards isn't overly long for me. I've played much longer, so I think that's going to be okay. It should be a good challenge for me. Hopefully I can hit a few greens in regulation. Don't put too much pressure on my short game, which has been a bit of a struggle lately. So really hoping to put some good shots down during this round and show you guys what I'm capable of when I'm playing golf, the sport that I've been playing for 3 decades. So let's have some fun. So the first hole out here is just your basic straightaway par 4, 420 yards from back here at the blacks. Nothing out there really to get you in trouble unless you don't get through the opening here that you have to shoot through. After you get through beyond these trees right here by the tee, it's wide open. You've got the 10th hole to the left, you've got the 12th hole to the right. So really you can just blast one out there and you'll have a shot at the green. So that's all I'm going to do. Blast one out here and see if I can find a shot at the green. So like I said, the first hole here at Rebecca Creek is not overly long, 420 yards straight away. Plays a little downhill. The wind is blowing into me. It doesn't look like it's blowing very hard here, but it really is. It's coming into me hard. I don't get all of this though. As you can see, I found myself in the left side of this, I guess if you want to call this the left side of the fairway. I counted it as a fairway. My GPS counted it as a fairway, so I'm counting it. I've got 182 all the way to the middle of the, or to the hole rather, or to the middle of the green. I'm sorry. I've got 182 to the middle of the green, and I've got a 5-iron here. I'm on a little downslope into the wind, and I don't hit this very well. That was not a great shot, and I end up, as you're going to see right here, I end up like 24 yards short of the hole. So, or probably closer to 30 yards short of the hole because I'm just measuring distances to the middle. So not a great shot. I'm pretty disappointed with that drive and that second shot. So I was actually playing at the middle of the green there, but like I said, I didn't hit the shot very well, not very crisp, and into the wind. I ended up short of the green here. It's still a tough angle. I could have missed this further right and given myself more green to work with, but I don't hit a terrible chip or pitch shot. It's just not that great, and it ends up leaving me, it's probably in the neighborhood of 7-8 feet for a par look. I'm usually pretty comfortable with these kinds of putts. I feel like I can make a lot of these. I feel like I had a good look at this. I knew what it was going to do, and I don't know. It just wasn't a very good putt. I wasn't very authoritative with it, and I don't quite make it. I just kind of burn the edge. Well, not the best opening hole. I came up way short on that second shot. It's a little more windy than what I thought when I was on the practice tee, so I'm going to have to take that into account for the remainder of the round. And not the best pitch shot. I mean, it was okay. It was an okay pitch shot, but then that first putt wasn't very authoritative or aggressive. I should have just pounded it into the hole, and I did not do that. So a bogey there, but lots of golf left to be played. All right, so this is a par 5, the second hole. It kind of plays up this hill off the tee and then continues uphill on the approach. So it's going to play longer than the card yardage of 566, I believe. So really just playing for par here, especially with the wind blowing in as it is right now. It's definitely blowing into us, so it's going to play even a little longer. This hole does have a very subtle dogleg left, so if you have the ability to play a little draw here, you probably could. It's a wide open fairway though, and it doesn't hurt you that much to be up the right side of the fairway. So, all right, guys. So I'm at my tee shot on the second hole. I'm way back. So far, I don't seem to be hitting very good tee shots. My ball is sitting right there, and I've got 305 all the way home. Obviously, I am not trying to do that, so I'm really just laying up here. Might hit my 3-wood, might hit my hybrid. Really would like to try to get myself somewhere in the neighborhood of about 75 yards, because playing uphill from 75 would be about playing from 85 flat, and that's a nice lob wedge for me. So might do some math here and figure out how to get myself right in the neighborhood of 75 to 80 yards. I've settled on a 3-wood for this shot. I figured it would give me the best chance to get about 75 yards from the middle of the green, or 80 yards, and I actually hit a really good shot here. I ended up 82 yards from the middle of the green. The hole is cut in the front of the green, but I'm worried about this lie. It's a little fluffy, and I didn't want to get my 58 degree to slide under it, so I ended up going 54 degree. And I catch this a little thin. You can see I was gripped down a little bit. I catch this a little thin and put it up on the middle of the green. Would have been a great shot. I mean, it was a good shot because I am aiming at the middles of greens, but I was trying to hit that at the flag. Really just wanted to take it at the middle of the green, but not quite have enough club and get the ball to stop near the hole. But it's fine. It's a green in regulation, and that's something good for me, something I struggle with a lot. So I'm trying to hit more greens in regulation, and I actually did hit this one. This isn't a terrible putt. I'm not looking to make this. This is, I don't know, the better part of 30 feet or so, about 36 feet as you can see there. And I give it a good run. The greens are a little slower than what I like. You can see I just kind of push it past the hole a little bit, and pretty simple tap in for par here. So solid par there on the second hole. That third shot, I got a couple grooves low, so it went a little further than I like. Ended up in the middle of the green instead of right in the front of the green where the hole was. But like I said, I'm trying to play to the middles of greens, so I'll take that. I'll take a green in regulation. I'll take a two-putt par. I am not unhappy. Okay, so this is the first par 3 on the course. It's not long. It's like 120, 130 yards, something like that. Really just, and it's playing kind of sort of downwind today, maybe quartering to the width and to the right. So it should just be a short iron of some kind. Again, just playing to the middle of the green though. This hole was cut on the kind of front portion of this green as well. When I did shoot this with my laser, and it came out to about 137 yards, 136 yards, something like that. And I do not hit a very good pitch and wedge here. It comes up short of the green, leaving me a tough chip with not much green to work with, as you can see. I don't usually like to get tricky with my short shots. I usually just try to play a simple chip or pitch. This one I get a little tricky with. I'm trying to bump it into the hill and get it to kind of stop, and it doesn't. It just took off on me. I ended up over the green. You couldn't even see where I was, and I didn't walk back to move my camera, and chipped back down and made that par, or bogey. I'm only 3 holes in, but struggling a little bit. I'm going to move up to more forward tees, but just sit here for a second and take, let's say 21 seconds of peace. Okay, so the fourth is a short par 4. It's 315 yards from the blues. In my day, I probably would have been going for this green with my driver, but today is not my day. So I'm just going to be laying up, probably hit either hybrid or a 4-iron just to get myself in position, and then hit the green in regulation. So I did decide on a hybrid for this shot. The hole's 315. I usually go about 220 with my hybrid. So if I hit it the way I think I can get myself in 90 yards range. I actually overcooked this a little bit. Into the wind, I played a draw and it ended up hooking. And once the ball gets on this dirt out here, it just runs. So I ended up like 60 some yards from the hole, like 61 yards or so. So I've got my 54 degree, because I'm trying to keep this low a little bit. Otherwise, I probably would hit the lob wedge, the 58. But I'm trying to get a little spin on that. I actually don't hit a bad shot. Still kind of new to this. I forgot to turn on my camera to record my putt from off the green and my par putt. Putt from off the green finished about 8 inches from the hole. Nothing spectacular. You didn't miss anything. Just made a par. So this is another par 4. It plays a little downhill off the tee and then plays uphill to the green. Really want to try to keep it in the fairway here. If you get off the fairway too far, you start getting tree trouble and stuff. So really just trying to find the fairway here. It's not a super long hole, so you really probably don't even have to hit driver. My general rule of thumb is any hole under 400 yards, unless I'm being super aggressive or there's no trouble anywhere, I'll usually not hit driver. I've got my 3-wood in my hand here. If I hit this right, it should lead me somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 120 yards into the wind, the way it's blowing. So anything from 100 to 120 yards is going to be a pitching wedge of some kind, depending on where the hole is cut on the green. And I hit a good shot here. It didn't get out there super far. I hit it right into the fairway where there was some grass to slow it down after it hit. After it hit the ground, I only hit that about 226, which isn't great for a 3-wood for me, but considering the hole slopes uphill and it's really into the wind, I'll take it. That left me about 113 yards into the green, or into the hole. Again, I'm just aiming for the middle of this green, so I've got my pitching wedge out. And I actually hit a decent shot. I just pushed it a bit, and there's no coming back from that with this wind. Any kind of push wasn't going to come back. So I end up right here off the green. As you can see, I've got a simple chip shot here. Not much going on with this. Just kind of bump it up there somewhere near the hole and drop it for a par. And if the grass wasn't as long as it is around this green, I'd probably think about putting that, but no real worries there. I made a decent chip shot and pretty easy putt for a par. Just a quick note here, it is important to go through your routine. Even if it is just a short putt, this is only about 3 feet or so, but I like to go through my routine on all but the very closest of tap-ins. As you can see, that putt actually had some break in it, so going through my routine helped me get that putt down and make a par. So that So that up and down felt good, if for no other reason than to calm my nerves about my short game. Felt good to make an up and down. So 2 over through 5, got 3 pars. Not playing bad, just not hitting too many really good shots just yet, but I feel like it's there. It's just I just need to find it. Hey guys, do me a favor to like and subscribe when you get a chance. I would really, really appreciate it. I mean it. So this par 5 plays the exact opposite direction of the first par 5. So we should have the wind with us, and this hole's a little shorter, and it doesn't play uphill. So maybe we can get home in 2, maybe have a look at an eagle and erase these 2 bogeys I have on my card. This hole plays a little bit sharper dogleg left than the first par 5. So I'm teeing up over here on the right side, and I'm going to try to cut this corner. And maybe if I can hit a little draw to get myself into the fairway and leave myself a relatively short shot for my second. This is playing downwind, so I know if I get it up in the air a little bit, the wind is going to push it. It's not a long hole for a par 5. So you can see I'm aiming well left, and I'm just trying to hit a nice drive here. And I actually do. I hit a really good drive. I'm very happy with this. It drew a little bit, came around the corner, and ended up right in the middle of the fairway, as you can see. So I'm sitting here at about 197 yards downwind. I've got a 5-iron out, and I'm feeling good. I've hit a couple of decent shots in a row until I got to this one. I'm not sure if you could hear that, but that was heavy. I did not hit that ball very well, and it came up well short of the green. I've got about 27 yards here to the hole. Just trying to get this up and down and save a birdie. I do not hit a very good pitch shot here. Actually, I had 31 yards to the hole, and I only hit it about 27 yards. I'm giving this putt a good looking over because I'm not entirely sure what it's going to do. The breaks here are very subtle, and the greens are pretty slow. So I'm trying to figure out what this putt is going to do as I'm walking around it, trying to get a sense of the distance and whether or not it's uphill or downhill and how it's going to break. Not a terrible putt here. I just don't hit it hard enough. I'm not. You'd think by the 6th hole I'd be acclimated to the greens, and I am not. I leave this well short. Don't even give it a run. Really, it's not a realistic look at birdie. The ball doesn't even get near the hole, but I drop it for a par. If I'm being absolutely honest, I'm not exactly hitting the ball the way I want to today. It's not super crisp. Like that second shot on the last hole, that was a 5-iron that I should be able to hit about 180, 185, and it came up short of the green. And I don't know, my swing feels a little off. I'm scoring okay. I'm still only 2 over. So I'm scoring okay, but I'm just not really swinging the way I want to. I don't know. I just kind of feel a little lethargic, and my swing just feels slow and doesn't feel like it has a lot of pop in it. And then on top of that, the greens are slower than what I like. No excuses there. I mean, the greens are what they are. I need to adapt to that. But I do prefer to putt on fast greens, and these are not fast. They're not terrible. No, don't get it twisted. They're not terrible. They're just not as fast as I would like. So, yeah, that's overall. I'm okay. I'm playing okay. I'm only 2 over, and it's not terrible. But I feel like I could be playing better. My swing just feels a little off. Definitely one of the harder holes out here at the club at Rebecca Creek. The 7th hole here. It's a little over 400 yards. It's a par 4. Doglegs right a little bit. It's not an easy hole. You really need to find the fairway. Anything in the trees is going to be hard to make par. So tricky little hole. See if I can't get a par on it. If there were ever a hole that's set up well for me, it's this one. It's a dogleg right, which favors my fade. It's playing downwind. It's a little downhill. I can hit driver here because the hole's the card yardage is 414. This hole sets up nicely for me, and I actually make a really good swing here. By the way, I should apologize. My shot tracer app has stopped working. If anyone knows a good shot tracer app, let me know. All right, so yeah, definitely one of my better drives today. My GPS says I've hit that about 280. I'm laying right there. And I've got just over 100 yards in. Flag is sitting on the green right up in there. And so I'm just going to take I don't really have a 100-yard club. It's kind of between clubs for me. So I'm going to take my pitching wedge and kind of grip down on it and see if I can't get it on the green. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to grip down on a pitching wedge here. A little note to all you beginning players out there, if you're going to grip down on a club, it is really important that you make sure you stay down on the ball and hit the ball. I do not do that, and I end up blading this over the green. I did something stupid there, really dumb. There was a cart in the distance that started up just as I was about to make my swing, and instead of backing off and recouping, I just swung anyway. That's a terrible mistake to make, especially as experienced of a player as I am. I know better than that. I know I need to back off. Now I'm going to pay the price, very likely. I mean, I'll be lucky to make a bogey here. I'm not giving myself much chance to get up and down. As you can see, I've left myself in a terrible spot. I almost ended up behind this tree, which would have been disastrous. The good news is I'm working back into the wind. I've got plenty of green to work with. I've got like something like 44 yards or so, maybe 41 yards. Yeah, I hit this a little too solidly, too firm. And I end up with this putt from off the front of the green now. So I guess maybe I only had about 38 yards. But I hit this from off the front of the green. They say good putting will make up for a lot of crap. Here's a make up for a lot of crap. So I'm kind of two minds on that par. On the one hand, I feel like I kind of deserve it just because I hit such a good drive. That drive was, my GPS told me it was 280. It was in the exact middle of the fairway. You kind of expect to at least make par after a drive like that. On the other hand, that second shot was one of the worst shots I've hit in a long time. Not even just saying today, in a long time. So you kind of feel like you don't deserve a par on the basis of that shot. My pitch shot onto the green, rolled off the front of the green, and then I make a putt from off the green to save par. So that's golf. That's why they say there are no pictures on the scorecard, because no one's going to know how I made par there. They're just going to see that I made par. So I mentioned the proper tees earlier, and it's really important to play from the appropriate tees for your game. And to play for the appropriate tees for how you're playing on any particular day. If you're not in a tournament or you're not trying to post around for a handicap or stuff like that, if you're just playing for fun, it's important to play from the appropriate tees. If you don't have your game, move up. If you can't hit the ball a certain distance that's good for the tees that you're trying to play, move up. Not only will you enjoy the game more, but you'll not take as long playing, and your round will go a little faster and you'll have more fun. Nothing wrong with that. The 8th hole out here at Rebecca Creek is a par 3. It's 183 yards on the card from the blue tees here. It's still playing downwind here, so I'm taking a 7-iron to try to just ride the wind a little bit. It's not nearly enough club as what I would need for a normal shot, but it plays a little downhill, and it is definitely downwind. So from 183, here's a 7-iron. Trying to put that last swing out of my mind, just make a nice smooth swing. And I actually do hit a really good shot here. I'm very happy with this shot. As you can see, I found the green here, sitting about 25 feet from the hole. This plays pretty dramatically uphill. It's not a great camera angle, you can't really tell, but this is very uphill. I hit that pretty hard and still came up a couple feet short. Basically a tap in for par though, and I'll definitely take that. Pars are good. Pars don't hurt. So the first, 9th, 10th, and 11th holes all play side by side to each other. So there's, aside from the driving range, which is left of the 10th hole, there's no real danger out here. You just kind of blast it out there, and from wherever you are, you're going to have a shot at whatever green you're playing at. The 11th, kind of dog legs left, so if you go too far right, you're lengthening the hole. But other than that, really, you just got to keep it somewhere in this giant field where these 4 holes sit, and you should be able to make pars. Obviously, I didn't do that on the first hole, but that was more about not a great second shot and not a great chip and not a great putt than anything else. So I'm 2 over right now through 8, playing okay, hitting some decent shots, hitting some not so crisp shots, but scoring well. And that is the epitome of no pictures on the scorecard. All right, so the 9th hole is 345 yards on the card. It plays ever so slightly uphill. Like I said in the opening and just now, really just trying to hit the ball out there somewhere. I normally wouldn't hit my driver on this hole, but as I said before, if there's no real trouble, which there definitely is not out here, why not? I don't hit a great drive here. It only goes about 231 yards, leaving me something in the neighborhood of 100 yards, 110 yards, something like that to the hole. Actually, it was probably closer to 113, 114 to the hole. But as you can see, I'm in the fairway. I'm just over 100 yards out. There's the red stake denoting 100 yards to the middle of the green. Got my pitching wedge out here. Hit a decent shot. Didn't really get all of it, and the wind didn't help me as much as what I was thinking it would. So here I am now with my putt. As you can see, it's probably in the area of 16 yards or so. So we're gonna call that what, 30 some feet. 15 yards would be 45 feet. So yeah, somewhere in that area. This putt actually plays uphill too. So with these slow greens, you really have to nuke these putts, and I just don't. I guess I was about 35 feet there. I just don't hit it. I leave myself a foot and a half, 2 feet for par, which isn't terrible, but I'd really like to start making some of these putts. All right, guys, that's it for the front 9 here at the club at Rebecca Creek. I am 2 over, not playing badly. Hitting a few squirrely shots, but hit a few good ones, and I'm making a few putts, or at least making good lag putts. It's been really fun playing for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe, and remember, there are no pictures on the scorecard.